Good morning. It's Wake and Bake time with Old School and Co. I'm sitting here with my friend Karen Schobert, and we're going to talk about a pretty intense subject today.
Yes, we are.
What are we going to talk about? It's going to be about
Metric.
Metric, okay. And you are a dispensary owner, so you're right there on the front line.
Yes.
You're seeing the tags, you're seeing the prices.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and you're also seeing how it's going to raise the prices to our different
Yes,
customers.
Absolutely. As the dispensary end of Metric, it's not as it affects us, but it doesn't affect us like the growers. It affects them,
Right.
and it's much more expensive for them and the processors. You know, with between the tags and the fees and whatnot that you're going to have to pay for your monthly, I guess, subscription to Metric, and I try to support that end of it because I need my growers and I need my processors, and I got to be able to put product in my shop that patients can afford. Because, you know, most of the time, most of our patients are on fixed incomes.
Exactly. You know, that's one thing people don't realize. My age group, we are driving demographic. You know, the dispensary owners see it. We come in there and we're on Social Security, fixed income. You know, we come in once a month. You know, to get our boom, boom, boom. There you go. Now, if the prices start rising, now that's why I don't like the lottery system. I don't like shutting down dispensaries because we've got people that can travel just a limited amount of space.
Yes.
We got people that don't have cars, don't have legs, you know, can't walk, you know, limited walking. And going to these dispensaries, they're going to their local dispensary. And
Yes,
that makes a difference to them. And if this local, now, I didn't mention now, a lot of these stores are mom and pop stores.
Yes.
You know, that's I'll
And we are.
support the mom and store. Now you're a mom and mom store.
Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. You used to work with your partner,
Mary Rhodes, and Mary and I worked at the United States Postal Service. We were mail carriers.
And you got to be good friends.
Yes.
And then you found out once cannabis was legalized, you want to help people. It's
Yes,
not,
absolutely.
we wanted black market or anything like that. That's what I like about your store. I come in there and you're helping people.
Well, I have one of the best stories in the world. I mean,
oh yeah, we didn't bring that up. Okay.
My husband Rick, I got in it with Mary in May of 2018, and we were just a CBD shop then. We did essential oils and, you know, educated people on what terpenes were and the cannabinoids and endocannabinoid system and that type of stuff. And then, of course, 788 passed, and we were one of the first in Norman to actually get our license.
Right on.
And we were, at the time, and I believe we still are, the only female owned and operated business, a dispensary in Norman. And that was in 2018, and January of 2019, my husband Rick, of near 25 years, was diagnosed with stage 4 liver and colon cancer. And it was like we got the results that day. I called Mary, of course, you know, we were upset and everything, and she says, well, we got to get him on RSL. We got to get him on RSL. And she called one of our vendors and said, you know, do you know how to make RSO, or do you know how we can make it for my husband Rick? And he said, you know, I've been fiddling around with the idea, and I think I'm going to start making RSO and selling it. He says, I'll make Rick my first subject.
Cool.
And we had Rick on the RSO 1 week after he was diagnosed. And by March, we went to Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Well, I mean, I'd do anything for the people, really. They saved Rick's life. All the local hospital systems were discriminatory, I guess you could say, if they found out a cancer patient was using cannabis in any way. They came right out and told us, we won't give him certain drugs, he won't be afforded certain treatments. And that was
now,
that.
for the people that don't know, stage 4 cancer, how many stages are there?
There's
4 stages of cancer, so he was in the final stages of cancer.
Well, and it also had metastasized, I guess it was from his colon to his liver.
Right.
And that meant that, you know, there would be possibilities of it picking up in other organs, his bloodstream, his bones.
Right,
because it travels that way.
Cancer cells are traveling throughout.
It was I don't know how we ever got through those first days, because that's all you thought about was, am I going to be a widow? Is Hannah going to see her dad, you know,
that
walk her
word
down
cancer,
the aisle?
yeah, because it's cause my brother Lance, he died of pancreatic cancer. and I wish I could have got him some RSO, but it was before legalization.
And you know, pancreatic cancer isn't necessarily a death sentence anymore either. I think it's now up to 25% survival rate. It used to be very low, 1-2% would survive. It was so rare, and but now it's up to 25%.
That's
so
outstanding.
It is very good. It is very good.
I
So
love it.
things are working. But we went with that particular healthcare hospital, center, because they didn't really have a problem with Rick medicating, and we
so
knew.
that they let him test positive for THC.
I don't think they ever tested him for
There
it.
you go.
Rick was just open. Well, we had to be kind of open about it because he was getting these wild results from his biopsies. They were like,
"What's happening?"
We know you've got stage 4 cancer, but your cancer's kind of dying.
I love
already.
that. Yeah.
Your cell structure isn't, what it would present itself to be, and he started on that right away. And by March, when he actually started his chemo infusion, he was probably, his cancer marker numbers were already lower than what they had expected, and they just kept getting lower. And they'd retest him sometimes 2 or 3 times because there was just no way.
To make sure their tests were correct.
Because there was just no way. And originally they told us 24 treatments we would have to have of this chemo infusion. That was done every 2 weeks for about 36 to 40 hours. He wore a pack. He had a port. And
that pack, that was injecting the radiation treatments, right?
Just chemo. Rick never got to the stage where he had to go to get radiation.
Really?
His cancer was
and
already.
He had stage 4.
Stage 4, yes, and 2 organs.
2 organs.
And the liver.
And RSO.
And the liver tumor was about the size of my hand, so it was big.
It was big, yeah.
It was, and it just wasn't blocking anything, so we didn't know anything was going on. And Rick took that RSO by September of that year. We stopped chemo by November. He had his first surgery to remove the residual tissue. There was no bloody tumor anymore inside of his liver or colon. He just had tissue there, and they removed that. They did do a little radiating of the area to make sure if there was any surviving cancer cells, they would be killed. And by November, everything came back with the pathology that he was cancer-free.
That is fantastic. I know. I love that. I've known about this for a long time, but
it was almost like I had to pinch myself.
I know you do.
I was so prepared for something, a horrible outcome. I was. You hear cancer and you think years and years and losing hair and getting sick, and would Rick be able to work? Rick was the breadwinner really in our family. Was he never going to be able to work again, or we just didn't really know what was going to happen? And how could I not get behind a industry that provided a medicine that took care of that like it did? And he's still, to this day, he had his scan beginning of March, and this would be 15 months out of being, told that we were cancer-free, and he's still cancer-free. And the most important thing is, when they do the blood work, there is 0 cancer in his body.
Now we got to do our disclaimer,
Yes.
We're not sure because of
Yes.
research and stuff that THC actually helped, but in my opinion, and in your opinion,
yes.
Okay, there, and his opinion too, for sure, your husband.
Yes.
Because that was
what's
a good one. Okay, we're going to take a short break. Always come back to Wake and Bake with Old School and Co. And you know what I like to do? Toke up and tune in. All right, we're back with Wake and Bake with Old School and Co. I hope you toked up and tuned in. I'm talking with my friend Karen Schobert. And Karen, you were telling us some fantastic stuff about RSO
Yes,
and your husband.
yes. And he's still cancer-free today.
Still cancer-free. Right on, right on.
I had to get behind the industry that saved him.
Now,
I had to.
you used to have 3 different licenses. You used to have
The grow, processor, and the dispensary license.
Now, because of RFID, you had to give up one of those licenses.
Yes,
right?
because we had to figure into our budget the monthly cost for your fee is based on your licenses. So if you've got 3 licenses, it's $40 per license.
Right.
Even if, like I said, the dispensary end of it, I don't have to get into the tags as much as it does that they do in the growing end of
Right.
it. So that's going to run people into some
That's
money,
gonna-
unfortunately, I think.
What the OMMA, in my opinion, doesn't realize is a lot of these dispensaries, you're working on a shoestring budget.
Oh, absolutely, and so are processors, and so are the
Processors,
growers
yeah.
too. I mean, you got your
Growers,
mom and pops.
everybody's,
That's
the
right.
ice storm, we're coming out of a pandemic,
Yes.
all this stuff now. That's really working on people's budgets. So
Yes,
you
it
had
is.
to give up your license.
We gave
one of them.
we I guess turned back in our to
Turn it back
OMA
in, yeah.
our grow license, but we still have the processing license, and we still we still have the dispensary license. But like I said, for somebody that has like that tiered, like we were going with that
Right.
vertical,
Every-
and it's going to cost them $120 a month just in fees.
an extra $120
$20 a month
Now I don't know why
just to use their system. That's just
Yeah.
use the
to just use it, and then the tags. That's going to be another deal. on
tags
top
for
of that.
growers. After you figure in tax and the shipping costs, they roughly figure out to be for a grower probably 55-60 cents a tag.
And,
and
again, that comes down to each individual
Yes.
plant.
Yes, it does.
Now, if that plant dies,
That tag is retired, from what I understand, so you can't use that again.
no, it's a
It's
one-time
a
use.
one-time deal. So
Now, growers, they use this tag, and they start from a seed, and then they
Mhm.
grow to a big plant,
yes,
and then they harvest that plant.
yes,
Now, someone that's a clone house or just doing clones, they're not getting the revenue off that big plant. See, they
No.
just get it up to about
they're
this
just
tall,
getting right.
and boom, it's out the door or
So
whatever.
it's still going to cost them.
It's still gonna cost them.
the 45 to 60 cents per tag.
Yeah, we don't know. They, what was it? The price just keeps changing because it started at 25 cents, didn't it?
I do not know what the original cost was for tag. I know always growers it was a little bit more than the processors.
Really? It's
Yes,
it's
processors
tiered.
was always a little bit less of a tag cost, but the growers had to pay the most for the tag.
I don't know why Oklahoma is so hip to send so much money out of state. We're sending money to Arkansas to check our labs, which I do not agree with.
No, I don't
And
agree
now
with
we're
that.
sending money to Florida for a
tags.
monopoly
Yes,
to give us tags and track our plants.
I mean I don't personally have an issue with seed to sale.
Oh no, I
I don't
love
at
seed
all.
to sale. I love
I mean,
tracking.
if
Yeah,
you went, I did my due diligence on researching
right.
what type of operation procedures I needed to have in check to open a dispensary. And
Right.
we've got a point of sale system that has the seed to sale tracking in it, capability in it. We've always done that from the very beginning. I
Mhm.
never got anything from anybody that didn't have a test result that I couldn't verify. We followed what was written in State Question 788.
There you go.
And that's the industry I want to be a part of, and I want to be a part of it in the most legitimate way because this is medicine for people. It's not just
It's not just stoners sitting around
no,
bonging out.
absolutely not. It's not at all.
It is medicine. And I'm a medical cannabis
Yes,
patient.
I am
use it.
too.
I got off all those pharmaceuticals on it, and it does, in my opinion, help a lot of people because I talk to people all over the state, and they tell me they're getting off these drugs or getting out. That's why we go to
I've
these
seen
events.
some amazing things happen. I
I've seen
really
it.
have some amazing. I mean,
Truly
not just
amazing.
with my husband, but other people with children. That type of stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
with kids that have all sorts of disabilities, whether it be developmental or physical. 2 years ago they couldn't be in school because their
Right.
behavior was such and such, and they didn't have a program that could. They'd have to be homeschooled, and I mean, I know of 2 of our patients that come in, and 2 caregivers, excuse me, and and the patients are the children, and their children are back into school
Really?
and doing well, integrating with, and not just in special education classes,
Yeah.
in regular
In
classes
regular
with
classes,
students.
yeah.
And that just gives that child such
Oh, yeah, it makes
an
a huge
advantage in
difference.
life. I think, for them
Because
to be in that environment.
They get that social interacting, yeah, that
and it
makes a
it more
huge
normal
difference
for
to
them.
people.
But Metric really, the whole principle kind of behind this, they're in 13 states, I believe.
Right, they're,
And-
yeah, they're in
and-
several,
and-
I'm
and
I'm
the
not sure
District
the
of
exact
Columbia,
number of
I
states,
believe.
yeah.
I know that they're not operational now in Missouri because of the lawsuit that
Right.
the state of Missouri, it wasn't the marijuana industry, it was the state of Missouri
Mhm.
filed against them. And they appealed it, and then the state of Missouri won again on appeal. So there is no Metric going on in Missouri right now.
Good.
And, I'm not sure exactly what it was or what brought it up that they wanted to go into this lawsuit with, but I imagine it was probably along the similar lines as what's going on here in
I'm
Oklahoma.
sure, yeah, I think so.
When we went to the state capitol, there was a small group of us, you, I, Darrell Clarence, DC, I think Donna Foster was there, her son Joshua Moynihan, Janice Raines,
Mhm.
John Kumbas from JKJ,
Right,
and Mike Steinhauer, he was a grower out in the western part of the state, and Stephen Blackburn from Red River Farms. And we went up there as a group to just
to talk.
to talk to the legislators and to the people that were working at OMMA and to get an idea about, OHMS, what was going on, why did they write the contract, how come they got to do it, why wasn't our input included into it, people in the industry. And, that was a runaround that day. I mean,
Right.
basically, we didn't get what we wanted to accomplish done, but we also saw a sign of something that there's something here that's not right.
Right,
If they're avoiding us and making us jump through hoops just to talk to them, there's something not right.
right. See, they think that we're just, in my opinion, they think we're just a bunch of stoners sitting around bonging out and not doing anything. That's wrong. We've got people that medicate and also can read and understand all these bills, all
Yes.
this legislation, it makes a huge
It
difference.
does. So, when we got up there and we couldn't get any type of answer from them, we disseminated that day, and Ron Durbin had previously, our Metric's been they went into contract 7 months ago, I believe, is when Metric and the state of Oklahoma made the contract.
When Metric got their monopoly
Right.
in Oklahoma,
Basically,
because it's
yes.
a monopoly.
It is.
They're
I mean,
the
there's
only
nothing
one.
really proprietary about having a radio frequency ID tag.
Yeah.
I mean, there are other seed to sale tracking systems that have that.
Mhm.
Basically, maybe it's the name. I don't know.
I don't
That's
know
what
either.
attracted them. We weren't involved with any of the. No one was involved
No,
with
they
any of
just
the contract
made
that
the
was written.
decision. Yeah.
And really, we don't really think that the Office of Management and Enterprise, that's OHMS, really had the authority to really write that contract and get into that agreement as the entity that it is.
Yeah. See, I'm
You
not a
know?
lawyer. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not either, but
Yeah.
I do have a great knowledge.
Yeah, I
in
know
this,
your
so-
research.
So-
Okay, we're going to take another break from Wake and Bake with Old School and Company, so I hope you toke up and tune in. See you in just a minute. All right, welcome back to Wake and Bake with Old School and Co. And End Epilepsy. That got that from a friend of mine, Amy R. Brown. Cool. Okay, now we were talking about your store, MABS.
Yes.
And y'all are in Norman.
2315 East Lindsay.
2315 East Lindsay. Cool, cool, cool. Now, y'all also sell different products other than the THC.
Yes, we have like a several tiers of
Right.
natural products that people can come in and use. We started with essential oils. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that, but the terpenes that are in essential oils are the terpenes that are in cannabis.
That's something I want to
So-
bring up because my neuropathy, you know,
Mhm.
I've tried so many products on my foot. Now, I came in and I told you knew about it.
Yes, yes.
And I picked up some of the unicorn oil.
Yes. Yep.
Now, I put that on my toe daily because I was only putting it on there when it hurt.
Right.
Okay, Mary lined me out
Mhm,
and
yep.
she said, John, put it on there every day.
Mhm.
So I'm putting it on my toe every day, and it's, in my opinion, it's keeping the pain away.
Mary is an extremely intelligent woman and has so educated herself in all sorts of type of homeopathic medicine. She at one time, was a nurse and in the nursing field,
Yeah, I know.
and just kind of didn't like the way things were going. Really, I mean, personally herself.
Now, we have some patients that don't use THC. You've got
Yes.
non-THC products
Yes, we
in
do.
your store,
Yes, we do.
in MABS.
We have a variety of CBD products, whether they be oil. Some people don't like the taste of oil, so we got capsules. We've got suckers that they can use. JKJ makes
I was
freeze
going to
dried.
say, now y'all
you know,
at MABS
products,
at
yeah.
2415 East
23,
Lindsay,
2350.
2350. I never know where I'm at. You know how I am. So you carry products like JKJ.
Yes,
You carry Simple Cure.
yes,
and-
we do. As on our CBD side, we have Select CBD. We also do have New Leaf is
New
a
Leaf, okay.
brand that we sell quite a bit, and that's a full spectrum CBD oil. By law, you can only have 0.03% THC in
Right.
that, so that is a full spectrum oil. It does have that highest amount, the 0.03.
Right.
So if it was something that you were wanting to use so that you wouldn't test positive for THC, say for like a work situation, or people that are in pain management can't have any THC.
And we need to work on that because that,
Oh God, do we?
that
ever?
irritates
Yes,
me.
we do. It's very discriminatory.
It's very-
And you might eventually, over a time, accumulate enough that would be tracked on a drug test, and we don't want people to do that. My husband takes one that is a local brand, Native. It's made by David Hopwood. I don't know exactly what they're going through, some changes, so I
Right.
don't really want to say
Well, there's a
anything.
lot of changes as in century,
But that's what my husband takes because he can't test positive for THC in his
THC,
job.
right.
So in order for him to keep that cannabinoid system working and still in check,
Mm-hmm.
keeping it fighting his cancer, because it does boost your immune system, whether it be the THC, as long as those cannabinoids are activated in your endocannabinoid system,
Mhm.
it's going to work with your immune system, and it's going to make it stronger.
That's what I was. We talk about. I talk about the endocannabinoid system a
Mhm.
lot,
Yes.
and I do a lot of THC.
Mhm.
Mine is pretty well perked up there. Now you do those different products. I always recommend CBD first
Yes.
before I recommend THC.
Yes.
Now you carry kratom in your store.
Yes, we do
also.
kratom also. Actually, that's one of the products that, believe it or not, a lot of our veterans that are our customers, and well, I should say customers, patients. Well, it's. I always want to make
understand. It's
sure
easy
that
to-
because
because
that's
they
what
become
they are to me.
friends when
Yes,
they come
they do.
in.
Yes,
your
they
patient,
do.
you get to know them by name.
Yes, they do.
And they talk to you and they tell you what their maladies are and
Mhm.
stuff, because I come in there, this hurts, I can't sleep, I've got panic attacks, anxiety, insomnia.
I want to tell you, when Rick had that cancer, those patients came in. Some came in every day just to check on us, just to
Oh
see.
yeah, I know, I
And
understand.
I became so friendly with so many of them. I really don't look at them as patients anymore.
No.
They're kind of really my good
They're-
friends,
they're
my family. That's
It's
right.
a kind of family
So
because
I mean, it's a very supportive sect of people.
you bet.
THC users, I guess you could say, or even the CBD as well. But
Yeah.
we do kratom. Kratom is something, we have 3 different kinds: the red, white, and green, I believe
Mhm.
it is. And
I
we
did the
have it
red
in-
and green for a while whenever.
We have it in different forms. We have it in capsules,
Mhm.
and we have it in shots that are flavored. Some of them have flavor to them
Really?
that, yeah, they kind of, it must, I don't do the shots. I was told they're very bitter, so. But I've done the capsules, and, they're really great for me in the evening when I want to,
Yeah.
I don't really want to go to sleep yet, but I need to settle down.
Just settled, yeah, and that's because I've done them. I've done Kratom. I got them from a friend of mine, Tony. She's got a store in Norman, and that's what it does. It doesn't just knock you out, like the narcotics and stuff. You take one of those and boom.
That's
I
right.
say it's what the shotgun effect. Boom, yeah, it affects the entire brain.
You're knocked out.
You take your products.
Yes.
It calms you down.
It's an
And
all over body.
What I notice, I'm
relaxation.
sitting in my chair and I'm sitting there, I'm watching TV, and I'll go, or I'm on the net, and I'll go, well, this chair sure is comfortable. And that's when I know it's about time to go to sleep.
That's right. But we offer. They can come down. I've got reading material, all sorts of different things. People
You
come
do
in.
have
I've got
education.
terp,
Yep.
terp charts. If they have a question, I do my very best to answer it. And if I don't know the answer, I will find that answer for you. I
Research,
will
yes,
not
ma'am.
guess.
I know you research and
yes,
you
I
find
do.
out those problems
Yes, I
and
do.
find out that answer. I love it.
Because these are, again, they're really like family.
I
People that
know,
come in,
yeah.
and I want the best for them. They wanted the best for me. They wanted the best for Rick. I want the best for them.
That's what we all pulling together. All these companies pulling together. I love that. That really does, because that's what 788 originated from.
That's right.
Is all the people in Oklahoma working together. Because, like I've said it several times, people didn't see a lot of the people that were standing out on those street corners and stuff, getting signatures, going here, getting
they were.
signatures here and there. And a lot of people, we came together, and
Yes,
we
we
can
did.
still work together. A lot of people still working
that's
together.
the key to keeping this industry medically focused, I think, right now, is we have got to be better to one another.
Right.
We've got to work together. In Norman, there's a lot of dispensaries, but one of the things that, and I believe I've been this way to most anyone that I've met in the industry that had another dispensary, I'm willing to, understand your issues.
Yep.
Let's discuss what's going on. You got some product and it wasn't good. Well, we can exchange these things.
Exchange
And-
ideas, yeah.
And they have become some of my best friends, really, in the industry by being able to do that. So if we can work together, I think we've got this. We can stop having legislation every year come up.
Oh, yeah.
We spend more time legislating this industry. Some of the stuff is silly.
It's
Or-
redundant.
or- yes,
yeah, it's silly.
It is, yes.
I do not want a perpetual fight.
No, I don't either.
want
And that takes
our-
away from what this industry is for, and it's for healing people.
It's for healing people, you bet.
You have to. I don't think that maybe politicians really realize that, and I don't think really, to be honest with you, a lot of them are educated enough on what medical cannabis is and can do.
Yeah, they go back to the old stoner movies,
Yes.
and that's what they think everybody is, and that's what they think everybody does, Now, we do know that there's going to be a certain percentage,
Yes.
they're going to be like
And
that.
that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. That's their opinion, and they're entitled to it.
And they really don't realize they're medicating something. They just don't realize it.
Right.
Because when I was younger, I was just like that. I was medicating with cannabis, but I didn't realize I was using it for insomnia. The jobs I had, I was using it for the pain. I was using it for like relaxation. I didn't realize that, but
Well,
I
I
do
do.
now.
Well, Mary and I at MABS, we really do want to work with you as a patient.
MABS
We wanna-
located at 2315 East Lindsay,
yes,
Norman,
420
Oklahoma.
specials. We got a lot of them going on.
Oh, you
For-
do
yeah, it's the
weekend
big-
specials, don't you?
We do. Well, I have a special every day of the week, really, to be honest with you. There's
Oh, yeah.
always something on there. And we also have loyalty programs. So we give people the opportunity. But again, a lot of our patients do live on a fixed income. They're older, or the students, they only have so much to spend. They're on a budget.
Yeah, I do.
We've got working class, hard working people
Working-
that come in there.
Blue
So
collar,
to
my
stretch
kind of
that-
people,
Yes,
yeah.
they're very blue collar.
Now, I got to mention, every time I go in MABS, I see it. There's this one friend that comes in there too. I love her. Okay,
Who's
we're
Porche?
gonna.
I know it. I know what you're going to say.
Okay, we're gonna be off. This was Wake and Bake with Old School and Co. I hope that you toke up and tune in. Right on.
Water whipping, water dripping. Broke the pack, mixed it with the midget.